Guys, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this honeypot in Inkscape. I'm Nador from Paperflow Designs, and every Friday I come here and show you how to draw a very simple graphic design, SVG design. If you don't know what that is, stay with me and I'll explain it all to you. Using Inkscape, which is an open source free graphic software. If you know Adobe, then it's sort of like that. So what you see here is what we're going to draw today. I'm just going to be using basic shapes, circles, squares. That's my thing. Let me get this up here for you. All right, just to let you know, I do have a color palette that I'm using to draw this. This is actually the fourth lesson in my drawing challenge, in my Spring in Bloom drawing challenge, if you've been following along. This is the fourth drawing lesson in it. If you want to find this color palette, which you can get for free, you can download it right from my blog. Go over to paperflowdesigns.com/how-to-draw-a-honeypot. If that's too long for you to remember, just go over to paperflowdesigns.com and type in honeypot. And you will get the blog post where you can download that for free. Another thing I'm using in Inkscape, if you are familiar with Adobe Illustrator or any other kind of drawing software program, you know when you open up the screen, like the menu bars, there's like, first of all, there's more than one, there's lots of them, and there's like lots of different things in there. First time I opened it up, I was a little scared, a little intimidated, and I think I just shut it all back down. The more I got used to using it, I figured, okay, how can I make this easier for myself? So I came up with, I learned the shortcuts because there's little keyboard and mouse shortcuts that will let you design quicker and draw quicklier. I put them all together in this ebook called Inkscape Ready, Set, Go. So if you are interested in learning those shortcuts, you can also find that in the same blog post. And last but not least, for anyone who has already made some SVG files or thinking about making their own, maybe you buy a lot of them off of Etsy, because I know people do. I sell SVG designs myself on Etsy. I also have a course called So Simple SVG Files that will teach you how to make your own SVG designs. And it's a step-by-step course. I take you all the way from downloading Inkscape, how to use all of the shapes, how to make font files, how to upload them to Cricut. So you will learn all of that step-by-step in the course if you're interested. You can also go over to paperflowdesigns.com and find out about that over there. All right, you guys, it is Friday. I'm ready to do some drawing. I hope you are too. Let me know that you can hear me correctly. Let me put up today's topic. Where are my little banners? Hopefully everything is going to be flowing smoothly, because last week I had a little technology glitch, but that's okay, because I got right back on track, because one monkey don't stop the show. And hopefully you were able to watch that and replay and just, skip that little pause moment. All right, so let me just show you where you can find the color palette and all the other details that I just gave you. It's right there on the bottom of the screen, and it's also going to be in the description box, of course. And I want to thank you for joining me today if you're here with me live. I appreciate your time, because I know it's not always easy, especially when you're learning something new like digital drawing and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to add one more thing to my plate. So I really do appreciate the time that you take to be here to learn this. All right, let's get into the drawing. Take this off the screen so you can see. All right, so I'm starting off with a square shape, and I'm just using the square tool. My default color is blue, but I just changed that to a brown color. All right, so from there, I will double click so that I can get the nodes. And the nodes are just those little squares that you see at the corners, those squares in the corner, the gray squares, that's what I want to say. So I will just pull down on those to curve it out. this is me making the pot shape. So starting off from a square, I can just round those out. Now I'm gonna make the rim, I would say, just using a circle. It's a regular circle tool. It might be hard to see because it's the same color, but you'll see in a couple seconds that I will duplicate it and change the color. So here you can see like the rim of the little honey pot. Still, we just used two shapes to make those. And I've opened up the alignments tab just because I want to center those two shapes so that I have them, bang up right in the middle. You don't have to do that. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It's not like a must. So I'm going to select both of those, and then I am going to unite them. So there you see, it's now one piece. So if this is not your first time joining me, you know that I like to make really simple designs for those of you who are beginners, and even for those of you who are not. Sometimes you just want to do something really quick and simple. You can get it up there into Cricut or Silhouette. So I've made another circle. This is going to be the honey. So I've chosen the yellow from the color palette. To get that, I just hit Control D, and that brings up the dropper function, and I can pick any color I want to use using that function. I'm going to try to center that a little bit, and what I'm actually going to use this for is like a cutout. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't think I'm trying to make it the exact same size as the rim, because I'm not. I'm just lowering that there so I can see like how far down it comes on the honey pot. And once again, you don't have to be precise with it. You can just, play around with it and, feel out how you want it. The good thing about Inkscape is that if you make a mistake, which is not really, you're not gonna make a mistake, but if you make a change and you don't like it, you can hit Control Z and undo it. That is the beauty of digital drawing. Bring this in a little bit so you can see a little bit more of that. All right, so I have made the top part of the honey, and now I'm making another circle shape, which I'm going to use to make the dripping part of the honey on the side. So I'm still using that ellipse tool, ellipse or circles tool, whichever you want to call it, but it is called the ellipse tool. And I'm just holding down the space bar so that I can copy it over several times. This just keeps me from having to like completely redraw it all from scratch. And you can do that too, that's fine. But your girl likes shortcuts. All right, so you can kind of see how it's looking like the honey is overflowing over the honey pot. And I can just take that same circle and just put it closer to one that I already have there to kind of make it, look like there's like some overlap. So kind of give it a little bit dimension, even though this is like a 2D image, we can play around with that. All right, now I'm gonna make the little stripe band because I'm gonna write the words honey on it. And to do that, I'm just gonna use the rectangle tool. All right, and I use the dropper tool to pick like a pink color. I just picked that because that's part of my color palette. You can pick another color if you prefer. It's up to you. So I can just double click to get the arrows and expand it. I just want it big enough so that it's going to be wider than the honey pot because I'm actually going to cut that shape out. All right, and I can put it, I duplicated the honey pot because I'm going to use that along with the rectangle to cut that rectangle out. You might not see it right now, but it has divided that rectangle. You can see like those little dotted lines, and I'll show you when I move away the piece, delete the right piece and the left piece. So now you can see I've made another band that's right in the middle of our honey pot. So now we're getting there. The next step, I'm just going to show you that this is actually on top of the honey pot. So it's like going to make another layer. When you eventually upload all of this into your cutting machine, it will cut out each color as a different layer. Even though I'm making the drawings all in one layer in Inkscape. And you can see there, I just gave it a little curve by double clicking and then pulling down on the parallel lines. All right, now I'm using the text tool to write the word honey. So pretty simple there. I don't have to, go ahead and draw out each letter. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but you don't have to because there is a text function in Inkscape already, and it just uses all of the fonts that you have in your computer. You can also add fonts to Inkscape. So if you buy fonts from like Creative Market or Etsy, you can add them to Inkscape, and I show you how to do that in my course. All right, so I've just changed it to kind of like a little cutesy font. I'm going to enlarge that, go a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And I'm going to overlay this on top of that pink strip, that pink label. All right, so now we've got our words honey. We're going to put right on top of the label. Again, if I wanted to center this perfectly, I could use the alignment function, but I'm not going to do that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. Just change the color to white. I think that looks nicer that way than the black. And that is our honey pot that we drew together in Inkscape. I didn't use the offset function for this one. In the other ones I used for like the daisy, I think week 1 was the daisy, week 2 was the bumblebee, week 3 was a sunflower, and I used the offset tool for all of those. So here I decided I didn't want it to be that small. So I wanted the jar to be a little bit longer. So I can just click on it and pull it down, but then it's making like this funky, wonky shape. So like I said, you can just play around with your lines, with your nodes to see what you like. I mean, I could have just left it where it was, but that would have been too simple, huh? Sometimes I find myself like I'm drawing something and then it's like, okay, I think I'm done. And then 15, 20 minutes later, I'm still like, tinkering with it, pulling something out a little bit to the right, pulling it a little bit to the left, just to get it. Sometimes I end up going right back to where I was 15 or 20 minutes before. Hey, that's part of the fun too. So now I'm just sliding down the label so that it fits the edges. And as you can see, since I elongated the brown base of the pot, it's kind of given me like, I want to say like a relief texture on the rim. So you can see like it's kind of like made a rim to where the honey is. Get in a little bit closer. So you can see there that brown rim just below where the honey is flowing over. And all I did to get that was just to pull it down a little bit. So you can play around with different effects, different things in Inkscape to give you really simple 3D kind of type of effects. Here, I just mixed the colors to lighten up the brown color because I thought it was too harsh. So I just used the color dropper again. to mix the pink color and the brown color to give me a lighter brown color. All right, you can see now I'm going to start to combine the things. I'm selecting all of the yellow parts of the honey, so the little parts that are dripping off and the big part, and combining it all into one. So it'll just cut out one shape. I have my base brown part of the pot as another layer. I have the word honey and the pink label. So all in all, that gives us what, four layers when we go to cut that out. All right. That was short and sweet, but I hope you liked that. That was the fourth lesson in the Spring and Bloom Drawing Challenge. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making it. I hope you had fun watching it, and I also hope you have fun drawing along with me. Next week, I will be back on, of course, same time, same day, with a new challenge to show you. If you want to know what the challenge is going to be, sign up to my VIP list. If you go over to paperflowdesigns.com, you will see like a banner that you can just sign your name in. It's completely free. This will allow you to be the first to know what the challenge is going to be, what the themes are going to be for every day, for every week, and to of course get the free color palette so that you can have yours be the same way. All right, if you missed anything, go back and rewatch the video. Share this with another crafty friend who will love getting this from you. And I will see you again next Friday. And of course, leave me any questions or comments that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, take care and have a good weekend. See you. Bye.